Hey everybody, welcome back here to this next episode on the channel here. This episode we're going to dive into my biggest game of the week, and that would be Falcons versus the Saints. The Saints are coming into town to play Atlanta. We're going to go through the key injuries. We're going to go through some key matchups. We're also going to go through the keys for the Falcons to win and also the keys for the Saints. So we're going to get into that right now. We're just going to straight cut to the chase. Alright guys, so key injuries this week for both Falcons and Saints. The Falcons are down Devontae Freeman, their number one running back. They're down Takk McKinley, one of their better defensive end tackle position players. He has really improved these past year. Last year he kind of outstepped his rookie-ness and became an actual playmaker for the defense. And we've also are down Corey Nelson in he plays linebacker in a linebacking core that's suffering right now with the absentness of Deion Jones. For the Saints, as far as I can tell from their injury report, they're going to be down Manti Te'o and his invisible girlfriend. Also, they're going to be down Tyler Davison. Davison plays defensive tackle. He did not participate in practice all week due to a foot injury. Manti Te'o's also out due to a knee injury. Devontae Freeman, we're going to jump back to the Falcons now. Devontae Freeman is not playing due to a knee injury. I believe Takk McKinley has a groin injury. He is on their injury report listed as limited play. But I do not think he's going to play at all this week for the Falcons. So now we're going to jump into these key matchups here. And the key matchup for the Falcons is Julio Jones versus all the corners for New Orleans. I think they need to use Julio as much as they always need to use Julio. This game specifically, they really need to get Julio involved. The Saints defense is lacking. They've let the Browns score a bunch of points on them. Every game they've played, a bunch of points have been scored on them. So I'm going to say the key matchup for the Falcons is to get Julio the ball. Matt Ryan just needs to take the snap, just set back and just launch that tater. And I think we'll do okay with Julio. I think Julio could have a 200-plus yard receiving game if they give him the ball against a very weak secondary New Orleans Saints. The key matchup for the New Orleans Saints is Alvin Kamara against the depleted Falcons defense. We're down a safety in Keanu Neal, and we're down our best linebacker in Deion Jones, and also Corey Nelson not being able to play this week, and Takk McKinley. That's two more players that produce for also on here on the Falcons injury report. Isaiah Oliver at cornerback is limited, and Brian Poole at cornerback is limited. I know those players don't have so much to do with the rushing game, but still, you're having to play people that haven't played before or played as much, and that's going to cause for mistakes to be made. There could be a lot of errors on the Falcons defense, so I do see Alvin Kamara producing a lot for the Saints this week, as well as Drew Brees. I don't have him down as a key matchup. I think Drew Brees is towards the end of his career, and he's throwing the ball less and less each year. It's noted last year the Saints' running game was amazing. They're still out Mark Ingram due to a suspension for PEDs, but I do think Alvin Kamara is going to absolutely explode this week. Expect him over 100-plus yards rushing and maybe a touchdown or two in this game against the Falcons. Those are my key matchups. Now we're going to jump into keys for the game, what each individual team needs to do in order to come out with a victory, and what I believe each team needs to do to come out with a victory. For the Falcons, this is going to pretty much be our season-long key, is score in the red zone. Our offense in Atlanta has no problem whatsoever driving the ball down the field. We can get within the 10, within the 15. The issue we have is putting that ball from the 10, 15, 20-yard line into the end zone. Last week it picked up a lot. We scored a lot more points last week. We'll see if that carries over into this next week here, tomorrow actually, against the New Orleans Saints. We need to continue to score the ball. We have one of the better offenses, even losing Devontae for the week. Tevin Coleman really stepped up last week, and I think that played a big role in the Falcons scoring so many points. They were able to get down there so many times, so they had so many opportunities. But we need to get players like Mohamed Sanu and Austin Hooper, who you rarely see Mohamed Sanu drop a ball, and you also rarely see Austin Hooper drop a ball. So why not, you don't have to throw it to Julio every time. I do think we need to use Julio. I, called that out as a key matchup this week. But I'm calling out that as a key matchup is Julio Jones can make explosive plays, 50-plus yard plays for touchdowns, 40-plus yard plays for touchdowns. We're having issues when it's 10 yards for a touchdown or 5 yards for a touchdown. Seems like our defense just kind of falls apart right there, just right inching away from the end zone. So we really, really need to, maybe pound the rock. What I don't understand is play calling. Sometimes with the Falcons is when we're in the 5-yard line, you're going to put Devontae Freeman in, the smallest guy on the team, and run, an ISO up the middle. Okay, yeah, that, Devontae Freeman's great. I'm not saying that he's not great and that he can't score, because I've seen him do it. But when you have, 300-pounders coming at him, you've got to rethink that when you have a much bigger back in Tevin Coleman who can score the ball. And he hits the hole hard. I think Tevin Coleman would be a starter on any other team in the NFL if he was to be traded or moved. So now we're going to jump in keys for the Saints. I'm going to say for the Saints, it's kind of hard to say what they would do to win, because I don't want them to win, because I'm a huge Falcons fan. But to keep this in all fairness, I had to dive in, do a little bit of research, and see what it's going to take for the Saints to win this game. And they're going to have a successful time of possession. They're going to have to hold the rock more than the Falcons do. The Falcons can drive down there really quick just about on any team. And but the Saints are going to, when they get the ball, they're going to have to make do with the time that they have. They're going to have to run the ball, run the clock, play the time game for the Saints. I don't think the Saints are a better team than Atlanta. But I do think that if they control the time and time of possession and how well they use that time, I do think the Saints could come out victorious. I have another key for them is run that ball with Kamara. We saw what he could do last year. Get him out in space. Get him going down the field. I think Alvin Kamara could have a huge game. I've said this already in this video, but that's what I think it's going to take for the Saints to win the game. This year starting off, they've started off a little slow, and I do believe it'll pick up with the return of Mark Ingram and some of these. Manti Te'o's actually playing a huge role on defense, which was unseen coming out of college. He kind of was a flop at first, and now he's picked it back up and he's worked his way into a defense that at one point in time was the best in the whole all of national football. I do think the defense needs to play hard for the Saints and of course not let them score. That's the whole point of football. It's not let the other team score as many points as you. But successful time of possession and running the ball with Kamara should. And I'm not saying just run it, 3-3-3 and punt. They need to, run these. They need to run the ball a lot. Kamara needs to have 100-plus yards and a touchdown or two to win this game against Atlanta. And that's what I have for this video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm enjoying seeing more people join the team here at Weekly NFL News. It's fun to do this. I've got a whole new setup now. Hopefully the lighting's a little bit better. I've kind of changed everything up a little bit. I'm getting more involved. I got a new logo. Check out the logo. So thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video. Probably not posting a video on Sunday. Going to be too busy watching football. But we'll be back Monday with the recap and a Monday Night Football look through. So thank you guys again for watching. Please remember, comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you.